Jaipur Rugs is a family-owned business, and it's manufacturing hand-knotted rugs, and we're exporting it to almost 50 countries now. So this business started in late 1970s with a very simple vision to empower the life behind the handmade rugs, so they empower the life of the artisans. And the founder started it in 1978 with just 2 looms, 9 artisans, and a loan of $500 from his father. And he himself started training with the weavers and developing more and more weavers. And he then moved to Gujarat, and he himself trained and skilled almost 15,000 weavers in the tribals of Gujarat. And after that, when he came back to Jaipur, he started Jaipur Rugs as an export house. So the idea was to connect these artisans directly with the customers. So he moved in this business, and we have Jaipur Rugs as an export business. And once we were more developing our Jaipur Rugs business, we realized that we were losing the touch with the communities that we have originally developed with. So then we realized that we need to have a separate entity, which is Jaipur Rugs Foundation, a non-profit whose full focus is to engage, develop, and sustain with the artisans communities. How do we engage in these communities to provide them sustainable livelihoods? And with the sustainable livelihoods, how can we sustain their livelihoods by giving them the global market linkage? So this is one primary role of Jaipur Rugs Foundation, which is skill development. And along with the skill development, our business model is socio-economic inclusive business model. So currently we are working in 600 villages in 5 states of India. So if I name the states, they are Rajasthan, UP, Bihar, Gujarat, and Jharkhand. And out of the 40,000 artisans that we are engaged with, 80% of them are women. So the idea is, how can we give opportunities to the women in the most rural, remote corners where they have no access with skills, no access with market? How can we provide them skills at their doorsteps and also provide them work at their doorsteps? So with skill development, we realize that, it's only skill is not important for their overall 360-degree socio-economic empowerment. We can give them economic independence with livelihoods, but we cannot, because these communities are having less education there, the socio-economic indicators are poor. So foundation also started another vertical, which is social development. So the social development vertical of foundation encompasses of the functional literacy for these communities, their health, their financial inclusion, and linking them with the government programs what we are in. Yeah, so like we are having our expertise in rug industry from 70s, and our idea was, because we have the core capacity in terms of infrastructure, in terms of our skills, in terms of our resources, we just focused on how can we empower the artisan communities engaged in rug weaving, and how can we sustain this 2,500-year-old art form, which is like on a dying stage now. So for that, we developed Jaipur Rugs Foundation as a non-profit, and Jaipur Rugs Foundation role complements the business, because the communities, the villages where we work in, it improves their capacity of weaving. So we have like the existing weavers, we make them go through the skill upgradation programs, leadership programs, weaver engagement programs, exposure visits, so that they are aware of the global market trends. So it suffices both the global market needs which customers has, and the artisans are able to cope with the global market needs. And very recently, we also we are the first foundation, in fact in the world, we have implemented the recognition of prior learning in partnership with National NSDC. And this recognition of prior learning is how these artisans have a skill certification for their existing skills based on a global framework on which these skills are in par with the global requirements. So for me, any other organizations who want to work in art and craft sector, they need to have a very strong market knowledge so that they can amplify their development work with the market in order to sustain these art forms. So like in terms of our implementation, JRF have developed, like since 2004, we have developed our capacities in terms of engaging with the communities, in terms of doing the scoping studies there. And because we have been developing weavers in 1978, like our founder himself was a weaver, he himself trained weavers. So we have a very strong base of artisans who can now work as trainers and develop the next generation of artisans. And those artisans have also evolved from artisans to branch managers, quality supervisors, and other rug experts. So for us, it becomes very convenient to have experts, and through foundation with our scoping abilities, our community engagement activities, and the expertise of the Jaipur Rugs company's professional, we can integrate this effort, and we can have our own vertical integration approach in terms of our operations and grassroots. We also we have been evaluated by Grassroots Business Fund, and it's like they came to us and they completely went to these villages and evaluated our skill development programs. After skill development programs, once they are linked with the market, so the kind of livelihoods that they are making, how sustainable it is, and what is the impact of the Jaipur Rugs Foundation activities in their lives. So yes, we do have these evaluations as well, and we also make sure, like for us, the biggest evaluators are the customers globally. So we need to make sure that in terms of design, in terms of constructions, in terms of quality, our artisans need to grow themselves at the requirements of the global standards, as well as in terms of their social indicators. They have to constantly upgrade with time in education, in health, in all those kind of things. Yes.